We are live. Welcome back to the Selfish Summer Summit. I am your girl, Coriel. So proud, so honored, feeling so blessed to be a vessel for God's vision. Y'all, this is none of me and all of God. And I hope that by this point, you are able to see that based on the feedback, based on the emails that I've received, the DMs that I've received on Instagram. I know I have gotten all the confirmation that I need that this information, these conversations are truly necessary. True wealth is in having good health. I know I spent a lot of time, way too much time preaching to women about making money, creating multiple streams of income, and not really even realizing myself that the missing element was the focus on your well-being and your wellness, and that is true wealth. And so today's conversation is one that I am super excited about. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm always talking about living clean. I don't even know how to, I don't necessarily put myself in a box in terms of like my lifestyle, but I do try to make conscious choices. I do try to make informed choices. And the whole vision behind this summit is to provide y'all with as much information as possible so that you can make informed choices. Whatever that choice is, you will at least be making it based on information and not just based on ignorance, because the powers that be want to poison us. Okay. I put up a post that said, you know, at this point, we are paying these corporations to poison us. Like, we are signing up for the BS. And so my goal is to help equip you with the information that you need so that you can share this information with a friend. Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our featured speaker for tonight. She goes by Coach Bell, and I am super excited to have her here for this conversation. So welcome to the Selfish Summer Summit.
Hi.
Hey girl, hey. So I'm
Hey
ready to just jump
girl.
right in. I have my notes, I got my questions here, but I want to start just by having you introduce yourself properly and
Uh-huh.
then sharing how you became Coach Bell. Like, what was your motivation?
So it all started like when I was actually in high school. I'm going to go all the way back, like, because I feel like that's the start of everything. Like when things start happening with my body, I was just always sick all the time, always having painful cramps. My mom was like, "You don't have to go to school today." I was like, "I want to go to school. I need to go to school." And she was telling me that painful cramps were normal. And this was, like I said, when I was 16, going all the way up to high school. Well, I was actually in high school, going up to college. I was still experiencing those same exact things, but I didn't know what was going on with me. So actually, after I graduated from college, I decided to actually go see a specialist. My specialist informed me that it sounded like I was, experiencing symptoms from endometriosis. And I was like, endometriosis, first of all, I've never heard of that word. What is that? And, I feel like we were just unaware of a lot of things when it comes to like women health because they didn't tell us about all these different types of terms. All they told us was, okay, we're going to have a cycle, take care of our bodies, but no one really knew that these type of things can happen to us. And of course, it's because of the different toxins. We'll go there later. And then actually, after I was diagnosed with endometriosis, my doctor informed me that I can either get a hysterectomy, take birth control for the rest of my life, and also that endometriosis could actually turn into infertility, right? I could be infertile. And I was like, oh my God. I was 26 years old. I believe I was going on 27. I've always wanted to become a mother. Always. I've always dreamed of that family. And I was like, infertile, you know what I'm saying? And after that, that's when my doctor gave me a surgery called laparoscopic surgery, when they go in to see what type of stage you have. He did inform me that he did not, that was not a cure for endometriosis. He was only going in to see the stage. So I said, okay. After the surgery, the endometriosis got worse. I mean, 5 to 10 times worse, Coriel. Like, wow, what is going on? And so I had to make a decision on whether or not do I go inside, do I go back to this doctor to let him know. And I'm telling you right now, the pain got worse maybe like a month later after the surgery. And so I had to make up my mind: do I go back in here to explain what's going on, or do I just take the consideration of my own hands? And that's exactly what I did. It started there, and my research journey just took off. Like I was actually in the bathroom and I saw a newspaper And they said, "Do you want to come in? Do you want to learn about hormones? Do you want to come in to learn about the women?" I was like, "What?" And as soon as I walked inside of this workshop, it was about 98% Caucasians and it was about 2% Black. And that was the start of my journey. Let's go help the Blacks. Let's go help my people. I want to go and help my community. And that's the start of my journey, living well with Bill. Education
I
changed
yeah,
my life. Live,
I
live.
was gonna say, I definitely commend you for
Mhm.
not just stopping there, not just figuring out. And we're gonna talk about like what you figured out and how you've been
Okay.
able to manage it, and
Hmm.
what you eventually decided to do. But I think so many women get stuck with a diagnosis.
They stuck.
So many women accept what a doctor who is no different from you, okay,
Hmm.
a degree, that's it, some years in school, but he is not God, or she is not God, and does not have the power to truly dictate your destiny. But so many of us can go into an office and get discouraged. So many of us can go into a doctor's office and allow them to tell us what the rest of our lives are going to look like. And what that does to you mentally can even weaken, your immune system, or even weaken your body. Once you start thinking that you're weak, your
Yeah.
body is going to start acting like it's weak. And so I love that you were even willing to go beyond like what your mom told you in normalizing this pain. So many Black women or Black girls normalize period pain. And let me knock on wood, I've never experienced 10% of the horrible things that I've heard about, what people go through when they're on their menstrual cycle. But I have talked to hundreds of women that have told me about these issues, and their mothers had those same issues.
Yeah.
So I think that's where this concept of it running in the family kind of comes in. But I think it takes people like you who say, I'm not just going to accept that this is what I got because this is the family I was born into. Like, let me
Yeah.
figure out how to do something different. So you started educating yourself. What were some of the like shocking things that you were finding out once you started learning about endometriosis? And for the sake of conversation, what is endometriosis for anybody who might not know?
So what's endometriosis is definitely an inflammatory disease. It's like I said, it's not just period pain, okay? It affects the entire body. I don't care if you get a hysterectomy. I've had women come to me who have had a hysterectomy and still to this day experiencing pain. So I had to go in to detox the other organs. We'll get to that. But yes, it's definitely an inflammatory disease that actually affects the uterus, the cells, the lining, all of that, and it can cause miscarriages and it can lead up to infertility. So yes, like I say,
And
it's a whole body disease. Yes.
traditionally, it sounds very similar to fibroids in that the number one recommendation is, okay, go have this surgery, and not necessarily a hysterectomy, but to remove the fibroids that, a large percentage of the time the fibroids return and or the symptoms are still there. And so the premise of Western medicine to give you a pill, prescribe you a medication that you're going to take for the rest of your life to just kind of manage your
Hmm.
symptoms, or take away your options to, conceive or to give birth. Those are the same, type of recommendations that they usually make with fibroids. And again, if we are not willing to take our health into our own hands, then we are going to have to rely on, somebody outside of ourselves to tell us what is possible. So obviously you did not do well. No, you tell us, what did you decide to do? You experienced this pain 30 days after the surgery. What was your next step?
So like I said, I actually went to a workshop maybe like 4 months later. So after I went to the workshop, I ended up hiring the nutritionist who was there because it was actually bringing on leads. So I was a lead. I was one of those women that wanted to change my lifestyle, not just take medicine for the rest of my life, not to continue to go on with the different surgeries and could possibly get IVF. I didn't want any of that. I actually wanted to have a natural birth, and nothing against women who decide to do IVF. I just wanted to actually try to figure out like how I can find natural solutions. And so actually, after I hired the nutritionist, what was shocking, Coriel, is the first thing that she informed me when I sat in her chair was that condiments were bad for you. I would say, condiments? She said, you have to remove ketchup. I said, ketchup? I was 27 years old. I said, I have never heard of that. I'm thinking that condiments were okay. I didn't know anything about processed condiments. I was only taught about processed foods. But yes, if it's not homemade, it's processed. And so I had to actually go and remove those different condiments out of my home. And I immediately start seeing like different results. I was like, wow. I started removing ranch. I started removing blue cheese. And this is one of the first steps that I actually have my clients when they sign on with me. Is I say, remove the ranch and remove the blue cheese. I want you to replace this with different dressings because people think that because you're eating salad that you're actually eating a healthy food, but it depends on what type of toppings that you're actually having on that salad. Those are just the simple things, Korea, that you actually can remove from your life. They can actually help your cycles. It can help your mind. It can help your, you being fatigued, different things like that. And so, actually, after I hired my nutritionist, I actually followed her plan, and I saw results. I was like, oh my God, I have to go educate my people. And that was the moment where I decided that I wanted to become a women's wellness educator, not just for the women, but for the men. Because people understand that the sperm, Korea, is just as important as the woman's uterus. Like, even more important. I even had my husband, he actually cleansed with me before I conceived. So, yes, it's very important for the men too. And we definitely going to talk about that later when you have to host a men's retreat. Hint, hint. But yes, a lot of men are so uneducated that literally when you actually are, having sexual intercourse with a woman, like literally, like you're actually causing more things to happen to her as
Okay,
well.
so I am pretty disciplined in the sense of, okay, you say this is bad for me. I don't need to do that anymore. But ketchup,
I know,
you
I
you
know.
got me. You caught me off guard with the
I
ketchup.
caught
You
you.
caught
I
me off
caught
guard with
you.
the ketchup.
Okay. Okay.
You
Okay.
did.
Okay.
You did.
Okay.
And this is the thing though, when it comes to, well, let me even take a step back. I
Okay.
spoke previously on one of the other sessions about how my mom was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And
Okay.
when I went to the doctor with her, I immediately went to nutrition. Well, what are the things that she should be eating, should not be eating? Like, that's just where my mind went because I understand that what you put in your body is going to affect how your body works. The
Correct.
doctor literally looked at me like I was a crazy person for even suggesting that nutrition had
Mm,
anything to do with this. But what I have since learned is that doctors know nothing about nutrition. They
no.
literally take, I mean, a couple hours of nutrition class. It's not even a whole, nutrition class that they have to take. So they literally can't tell you that because they don't have any clue. And so we
Mhm.
have to think about the people who we are going to and trusting literally with our lives. Because had you not found this alternative, your doctor, I don't think, told you about this workshop. Like, you happened to find a pamphlet about it and went on your
Mhm.
own. Those resources usually are not suggested by the mainstream medical doctors, and they're usually not covered by insurance. So it's almost as if this information is being kept away from us because what? Your sickness is big business. Now, back to the condiments. Ketchup, okay, my feelings are hurt. When it comes to the ranch and the blue cheese, I can imagine that it's because they're like dairy based. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Or
Dairy
no?
based. Dairy based.
Okay, so let's go to the dairy. Because people don't want to hear this. I know y'all
No.
love cheese. Like, y'all be mad at me when I start talking about
Yes.
the cheese,
Yes.
but
Yes. It's tasty. It's tasty.
the link between cheese and fibroids, the link between cheese or even milk and asthma, the link between like the way that dairy affects our body, I don't really think that it's worth it. But talk to the people about what you have learned about dairy and how it affects our entire body, but specifically our reproductive system.
Awesome. So actually, after the catch-up conversation, we actually moved on to dairy. I was not educated about dairy as well. I immediately went home to remove every type of dairy that I had in my refrigerator, especially milk. And I was a big cereal eater. Do you like cereal, Coriel? I used to
I
love
like cereal, but
cereal.
I don't drink the milk. But cereal is nothing but sugar, so we got to stay away from that anyway.
Correct, correct, correct. I'm talking about at that time when I tell you I didn't know anything about dairy or anything about cheese. And so I actually removed all those things from my body, from my refrigerator. And when I tell you guys, dairy is one of probably the most worst things that you actually can put in your body. It actually creates mucus. A lot of people who actually are experiencing like asthma or who experiencing like eczema, just different things in the body, the first thing I'll actually tell you to remove is dairy. Like, it's not good. It's not good for our body. Like, we're supposed to breastfeed. Even if you don't, even if you cannot breastfeed, I say get the best form of formula, and also you can do homemade milk as well. But when I tell you, milk is a business, all right? It is a big it's probably one of the number one businesses out there because dairy is in pretty much everything. Even when I was serving at Olive Garden, I did not know that dairy was actually inside the Olive Garden dressing, and I was serving for years. So each and every time I would eat my salad, I'm thinking I'm eating healthy, but I was eating dairy. Yep, not
And
good.
even if it's not milk, Parmesan cheese is in a lot of the dressings as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
you gotta
Hmm.
add.
There is actually it isn't a lot of things. Like we literally have to
Mm-hmm.
kind of like read the ingredients. And even if you don't want to do that, I would actually say just try to go like the plant based route. Just try to do a lot of things that's homemade. And if you don't have the time, I would do things like just pick one day out of the week and just try to find different recipes. You have to make that time to take care of your body. If you can go to the hair salon to get your hair done, your nails done, your makeup done, then you can actually find those times to, just play around in the kitchen. Hmm.
Listen, I am on this whole basic baddies movement. Like the basic baddies, how I'm defining basic baddies are women who are not willing to risk their lives to impress other people.
I
So the
love that.
women who are not out here willing to put these toxic chemicals, whether it's the makeup, the hair, the nails, the whatever, on your
Hmm.
body to look a certain way, but you're literally like shortening your life. And
Correct.
so when people say like, I can't give up the cheese, or oh my God, it's too expensive to go to the acupuncture, go get acupuncture, but you're literally spending this money on things that make you appear like help your appearance, make you look good versus seeing the investment in things that make you feel good or make your body, operate better. The dairy thing, though, is a really sensitive topic, especially when it comes to moms and their babies and
Yes.
nursing versus formula and all of the things. So, y'all get out of here with all that, okay? I
Yes.
believe you got to make the best choice for you and your baby. That is my philosophy. However, I think that it is kind of crazy that the milk industry has brainwashed us to believe that formula can replace breast milk. It can replace it, but it is not the same. It is not the same. And that is just, it is what it is. But for women who have noticed that their children have had an adverse reaction to their breast milk, a lot of times the first thing the doctor will tell you as the mother is to stop eating dairy. So that to me just tells you that these kids are having an adverse reaction to the dairy based formula as well. But
Hmm.
we are not willing to accept that because we want to, I don't want to say take the easy way out, but a lot of people are choosing formula because they don't want the stress of nursing your baby. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. The point is, there have been links to the dairy since day one. We just don't want to accept it because of how we were raised
Hmm.
or what we are accustomed to. Okay, so condiments, dairy. What was your next conversation with this nutritionist?
So my next conversation basically was talking about like just removing different things out of the home, like the different toxins and like the washing powders and the even dishwashing tablets, like literally the different things that we put in our body, like it literally can kind of get inside of our pores. Because our skin is the largest organ in the body, right? And so I was just unaware of all these types of things. And then once, like I said, I started switching things out of my home. I started changing my lifestyle. That's when I decided that I actually wanted to become a coach. And actually, I started educating my family first. And my grandmother had just died of lung cancer. Like, if she was still living right now, I would have actually educated her on like what to eat, what to remove from your body because she loved her chemo. Like, she thought that chemo was like the best thing for her. Yes, like because people think that it's like the number one solution to helping your body. And she passed away in my arms. Yep, this is way before that I started doing health and wellness. Yep, she passed away in my arms. And
I'm
she
sorry to
loved
hear
eating.
that.
Thank you so much. She actually loved to eat steak. She was a big beef eater. Yes, so all those different types of foods, and even when it comes to like makeup, like I wear makeup like every now and then, lipstick. I feel like women don't understand that we should not wear it 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? You went and you jumping on a podcast, or you going out with your girls, but ladies, you don't need makeup to go outside the home. You know what I'm saying? It's a big business, makeup, and it
Mhm.
also can affect women with endometriosis, fibroids, because it's too excessive. Everything that women do, especially black women, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we have to actually feel those different voices, what's going on, like from childhood or our relationships, because we are beautiful. We are beautiful inside. And I don't want you guys to get so caught up in the business where you got to put all these different things in your hair. Like I wear weave every now and then. I wear makeup every now and then. Wear your natural hair sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Wear your natural face. Go outside just the way you are. Even when it comes to, like we talked about, the underwear and the different types of things that we put on our body. Do things in moderation. Moderation is not going to hurt you. It's not. You're not going to fall out.
Listen, you hit the nail on the head with that one, because the layers of makeup on a daily basis, not just every now and then, but it's like from the foundation to the lipstick that has dye in it,
Yes.
to the eyeshadow that has dye in it, to I just saw a post earlier today I'm about to put up on my page about the eyelash glue that has formaldehyde in it. It's like we are literally poisoning ourselves on a daily basis. And then in terms of just lifestyle, one of the biggest challenges for me to like just completely stop using is aluminum foil.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
I
know if
use
it's a Black girl
parchment paper.
thing.
Yeah, I use
It's,
parchment paper.
so how do you, so can you, what are the limits with parchment paper though? What can you put parchment paper? I don't want to ask a really stupid question. Can you truly use parchment paper in the same way as aluminum? Because I've been trying to find a replacement.
Yes, I mean, I pretty much bake my food. I don't use like the air fryers and things like that. I pretty much feel like parchment paper is the only way to go. You have to remove the aluminum foil, even when you go to different parties. I say like bring a container. If you go to parties maybe once a year, that's not gonna hurt you because I know you want to take your to go plates home. Because I actually use aluminum foil maybe like 3 weeks ago, but it's maybe like once a year, once every 2 years. I'm talking about people who meal prep their food and wrap their food up in aluminum foil every single week. I don't recommend that. Get those glass dishes from Amazon, right? And just prep your food that way.
We
Hmm.
don't even know though, because it is mind boggling. Even for me, it was really mind boggling for me to understand how just my food sitting in the foil, like just my food sitting in the foil, or the foil sitting, over the top inside of your air fryer or inside of your oven or whatever, that aluminum is literally leaching into your food. So when you go, if any of y'all have ever had like a ionic foot detox where, you put your feet in a
Yes,
foot
I
bath
would. Mm-hmm. Yep.
come out.
Yes.
One of the things that usually comes out is aluminum. I know for me at least, aluminum came out one time and chlorine came out. And so I started
Oh,
digging like where am I getting chlorine inside my body? I'm not going to the swimming pool. Like, how am I getting aluminum inside my body? But the tap water, the aluminum foil, like things that we are not just consuming or using every once in a while, we're taking multiple showers a day. We're eating
yes.
multiple meals a day. And so the whole point and purpose in all of these conversations is not to scare people, but we have to be aware of this information because it affects our families. Like women are
Mm-hmm.
usually, the ones that are responsible for making sure that our families are well. And so I would rather do this hard work now than be like a caregiver to some sick people down the line because I just didn't want to do right. Okay, so where are we going
Yes.
next? About the dairy, we talked about the condiments. Let's talk about I guess maybe more lifestyle, because
Okay.
some things
Okay.
I saw so much on your page of just things that you could be doing on a daily basis that you don't even realize is like
Yes.
feeding your illness.
Yes. So also what I recommend is dry brushing. This is one of the things that I found out that actually helped my body. Like you literally increasing your blood flow to the body, and also you actually want to dry brush, like you said, nothing on your body. You don't have to actually put water. You want to dry brush just the way you naturally, and it may hurt a little bit, but like I said, you got to get used to it. Yeah, it can be a little
And that's what I was
uncomfortable.
gonna ask. How do you get
Yes,
the pain? But that's part of
yes,
it.
yes, part of
Okay.
it. But like I feel like you're gonna get used to that though. But yes, definitely you can do dry brushing. You can actually use the sauna. People don't understand that the sauna is so important. We all need the sauna. We think that the sauna is just needed in the gym. You actually can order sauna from Amazon. Hmm. Yes, you can do
And
things like
baby, get a
that.
YMCA membership. Okay. That is like a little, I don't know if it's a little known secret, but I feel like not enough people are taking advantage of the YMCAs. Most locations have saunas and free childcare. So get in where you fit in, sis.
Yes,
You
yes,
mentioned
it's
the
definitely
underwear.
fun.
You mentioned
Yes.
the underwear. I want to talk about clothing, period, and these materials that we're putting on our body.
Oh,
I think I saw you posting about like the yoga pants. Like, well, this is why it's like, can we even win out here? Like,
oh,
how? Because you think you're doing right, by going to work out or sitting in a sauna. This was me. I was sitting in the sauna in a swimsuit, a toxic swimsuit. Like the material that swimsuit is made out of is toxic. So to be sitting in a sauna, literally dripping sweat, or going to work out and you got toxic yoga pants on, you're literally defeating the purpose.
Yeah, so definitely what I recommend. Like the thing about life is, Korea, like even though we educating everybody, we can't outbeat everything. It's just the way that life is, right? So what I recommend is just continue to just like you said, keep detoxing, keep doing the right thing because all we can do is just do the best that we can. That's the one thing that I want to say during this wellness call is that just do the best that you can. It sucks. It really do sucks that a lot of chemicals, a lot of toxins are in the clothing. Literally, the clothes that we have on, we just don't know. And this is why I tell people just try to limit as many chemicals and toxins as you can. We know we need the clothes, right? So I would say limit your makeup. You know, like I may wear makeup maybe like what once every other week, right? I may wear weave every now and then, or like when I was breastfeeding, so I was breastfeeding my daughter, and then I gave her formula, and then after I gave her the formula, she started juicing at one. So I removed all the dairy. So I'm a moderation coach. And I feel like because I don't want you guys to stress yourself out trying to be this perfectionist. We are not put here to become a perfectionist. We are here to live our purpose. I want to educate people as much as I can because I feel like everyone can actually just do one thing. Try one thing every day. If you never used a sauna before, call up your friends. Let's go to the sauna. Let's go do red light therapy. Let's go for a walk. Just try to do the best you can. Actually, get a t-shirt line too. Start dropping a motivational t-shirt line to remind people you don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to have everything right. But each and every day that you wake up, just try to do something right. And if you keep that type of mindset, I promise you, you're gonna win. I don't do everything right. Right? No one does everything right. Right? I wear underwear during my cycles. Okay. I just do the best that I can. I just cannot just go without underwear, but I do know the toxins that it carry. I know the bath tissue carry toxins, even with the chemical free tissue. It may still have maybe two or three times. We can't run from everything. Just do the best that you can. That's my only thing that I want to tell people today on this call. The things that I educate you on today, take two to three things and just go at it. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Challenge yourself to make gradual changes, because
Yes,
if
just do
people gonna be I can't go
gradually.
through all the condiments. Like, let me start somewhere. Start where you can. Okay,
Start
start
where
where
you
you can,
can. Yes,
and just try to do better. That to me is what it's all about. It's
that's
about
what it's
knowing better so that
about.
we can do better.
Yes, yes.
Detoxing though, because we are exposed to so many toxins literally on a daily basis, minute by minute basis. What is detoxing, and what type of detoxes do you recommend?
So I feel like detoxing is a lifestyle. I don't feel like detoxing can be a one-time thing. Let me tell you something. We have trauma, baby. We have years of trauma, and it's not going to be an overnight thing. We have been experiencing everything that we have been experiencing since we were in our mother's womb, what she ate, how she thought, how she felt. We're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. It's impossible to remove everything. So I recommend you to make it a lifestyle. Okay. When you're detoxing, you can be dry brushing, right? You can try to find some type of herbs to cleanse your cells because your cells regenerate. You can't actually generate healthy cells. Cleanse your lymphatic system. Just try to find different organs in your body to detox your colon, right? The very first time that I went to go get a colonic, the first thing that I saw when I walked inside the building was 86% of human beings doing an autopsy has never had a colonic. That means that Americans and people in the world are not detoxing. So try to do something to actually just do better. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your kidneys, do not sit around all day. Right when you're walking, you're cleansing your colon. I mean, you're cleansing your kidneys. You're helping your kidneys. Living a sedentary lifestyle does not require you to actually. Living that type of lifestyle, you're actually sitting around all day. You're hurting your organs, right? You're hurting your organs. Our bodies are not they're not to designed to sit around all day. Even doing your 9 to 5 job. When I was working my 9 to 5 job, I was getting up every hour. During your lunch break, don't sit around all the time just eating. Go for a walk sometimes. You know what I'm saying? If you have an elevator in your job, Take the stairs. When I tell you, Korea, I worked on the third floor. Throughout my whole entire time when I was working at my 9 to 5 job, I was a fitness trainer, fitness coach. This is before I retired from my 9 to 5, before I stopped working my 9 to 5. I was taking the stairs. So I feel like detoxification is a lifestyle. Try to find something, hire a coach, hire someone. Look at Korea, she's going for her certification. Hire someone to help you, right? And just go at it. You cannot detox one thing and be okay. Go at it for good, right? Make this thing your just like you get your hair done every day or every week. You washing your hair, you taking care, you take a shower, detox your body for the rest of your life. Go on fasting. So I just want people to understand that it is a lifestyle. Even when I meant to tell you, Coriel, I'm going to sign up to become a holistic doctor. Hmm. Yes, I'm going to
Mm.
be a licensed doctor because I already have my bachelor's degree in sociology, mine in biology. I have a master's degree in healthcare administration. And during that time, I didn't know my purpose. I was just going to try to find a job. Nothing against anyone who's actually working a 9 to 5 because I wanted to be your purpose. If you're working a 9 to 5, make sure it's your purpose because when you're working a job that you hate, do you understand that when I learned this in graduate school, that it actually affects your health? Yes, your career is a part of your wellness plan. So I recommend that you follow your purpose, do something that you enjoy. If you're 9 to 5 and you love going inside your job every day, guess what? You are living well. You are living well. You are actually adding different things to your life, such as joy. And joy keeps you living and it keeps you happy and it keeps you living a long time. So continue to detox your body, do things to actually serve your purpose, and just keep doing things that you can do and don't try to be perfect. That's my
I
thing.
didn't even realize, I think until very recently, when all of these conversations about like leaving the US and, going to live abroad and all of these things, the number of people who I have seen that have actually left and, are living somewhere else, the way that their lives have shifted from all being completely about work. Like Americans plan our entire lives around our career. Like
Yeah, around our
everything we do
career.
is based
Yes,
on our work. We are, I don't want to say the only culture, but other cultures outside of this country, that is just a part of what they do. That is
part
just
of it.
a part of their day. It's not who they are. They're basing their entire identity off of what they do at work. It is not, they're not basing their homes where they live off of where they have to go to work. We are the only people who literally base all of our life decisions off of these jobs that we have. And sometimes these jobs are making us miserable. So I love that you mentioned,
Stressful.
entrepreneurship is not for everybody,
It's not
but we should not be basing 100% of our lives off of this very, something that should just be a small percentage of who you are. One
Yes,
of the things I
if you
want to
do
throw,
gonna
oh, go
work
ahead.
a if
Go
you
ahead.
are gonna work a 9 to 5, I apologize for interrupting you. I just wanted to say if you guys are working a 9 to 5, just like I said, make sure you're happy when you walk in. If that job is stressing you out, those things can cause high blood pressure, right? All types of things can happen to your body because your emotional health as well is a part of health.
Facts. One thing I wanted to add in there for the detox for people who need a cheat. Okay. This is like detox for dummies. I like to do the 2-day Arden's Gardens juice detox.
Hmm.
Google it. They ship nationwide if y'all don't have an Arden's Gardens locally to you, but it's basically a juice company called Arden's Gardens. And she has 2 gallons of, I think it's grapefruit, orange, and something else. It doesn't taste that bad, but you drink 1 gallon each day. That's all you drink is the juice and distilled water for 2 days. So no food for 2 days. And when I tell you that this thing will clean you out, but not in the sense of like you'll be running to the bath. Well, you will be running to the bathroom, but you'll just be like urinating. That's all. But the way that it will flush the toxins out of your body, you will be feeling like you will feel the effects after 2 days. So if you can just make this a part of your life where it's like, okay, once a month
Once
for
a
the
month.
first 2 days of the month or the last 2 days of the month or however many days you want to do, I am going to dedicate, I'm going to commit to doing this, for this amount of time consistently because
It's a
I did
lifestyle.
that. Oh, yeah, it's a lifestyle.
It's
I
a
did that for
lifestyle.
2 days and then I did 12 days of fasting where I was doing intermittent fasting. I
Yes.
lost almost 10 pounds. But baby, when I tell
Mhm.
you, as soon as I got back to doing the regularly scheduled program, it all just came back, which tells us that this has to be a lifestyle. It can't just be
Lifestyle.
a quick thing. It has to literally be a way of life for us.
Yeah.
So what else you got, Coach Bell? What are some other tips or tricks or tools that you feel like the ladies can start implementing now? Because I really want for them to be able to walk away with some real strategies and not just feel overwhelmed with all the things that they got to do.
I got you. So definitely what I recommend is to actually fast 1 day a week, right? Just remove all foods. You can drink nothing but water. You can actually do dry fasting, but I recommend that you actually do what works for your body, right? You actually can actually do more walking. I feel like I want you to actually set your alarm clock, right? So if you're working your 9 to 5 job, right? Because I know we may have 9 to 5 work, we may have entrepreneurs working. Set your alarm for maybe like 1 or 2 hours and actually just get up and start moving that body. I also recommend that you actually see a chiropractor at least once every 2 months. Going to see a chiropractor, guys, is not just for, oh, I was in a car accident, let me go. Once again, it's not a luxury thing. You actually need to go see a chiropractor. I know you talked about acupuncture the other day. Also, I recommend that you do things where we talked about dry brushing, juicing, right? I feel like you do not have to eat eggs and pancakes and all those type of things for breakfast every morning. Try to eat fruit. I'm a fruit girl. And fruit, people don't understand that fruit is one of the most powerful things in the world. Even if you don't feel like your grocery store has the best fruit, go find fruit you can actually order. There are a lot of companies right now that are shipping fruit now. Yes, a lot of people are actually growing their fruit, and I can send it. I can send you the guy's page courier. You actually can send it throughout the email where he ships fruit to everyone in the US, right? Things like that. So try to find ways you actually can detox through a lifestyle with fruit, your water systems. Switch out your water systems. All right. Use filters. Like Corey said, we take multiple showers a day. Change out those water filters ASAP. Your toothpaste, your mouthwash. Try to find more of a plant-based way to actually brush your teeth. What else we can talk about? Um,
Go to the juicing. Go to the juicing
okay.
because I saw you talking about like watermelon juice. Like, what are some specific fruits or specific types of juices that you recommend? And are they for like different purposes?
Yes. So what I recommend, the most powerful fruit in the world is the melons, right? And I'm a mono fruit girl, right? So I was taught to do one type of fruit at a time, and there's nothing wrong with that. Before you get to the different mixing of the fruit, try to do one fruit at a time. And I know I post a lot of things on social media, but I want to get deep here because I really, really want to help people get to the next level. You can either mix your fruit or you can actually work at one thing at a time. Juice your watermelon with the seeds. A lot of people don't understand that the seeds are just as important as the watermelon. I love watermelon, right? Watermelon is my favorite fruit. You can also juice your honeydew melon by itself. You also can juice your cantaloupe. I would try with one fruit per week, right? So if it's Monday coming up, right? Buy your watermelon, drink watermelon for those 3 days straight, just watermelon juice. Okay. And of course, if you want to eat other things with it, you can. I'm just talking about just in the morning, just drink your watermelon juice. And then that next week, try your honeydew melon. Then the following week, try your cantaloupe. Also, your berries. Your berries are also one of the most important things that you actually should be eating all the time. Your strawberries, your blueberries, your raspberries. And for women who's experiencing fibroids or endometriosis or painful cramps, if I were you, I would eat raspberries every single week until you see results. Okay. Yes, raspberries are actually one of the most powerful fruits for the reproductive system. So you haven't learned anything else from this call. I would actually leave this call, go get your watermelons, your honeydew melons, your cantaloupe, and also your berries, and actually separate it throughout the week. Eat one type of fruit at a time. And if you actually don't want to get it at one time, like I said, because I don't want to overwhelm you, I will start with your melons. And then the following week, I will actually start with your berries. Yep.
That sounds simple enough, but it definitely
Simple. Yeah.
goes against the juice bar, the traditional juice bar where you got 25 different ingredients and the agave syrup and the seeds and the this and the
It's
that
too
and the
much. Go, and this is why I'm telling everyone on the call. Women who are experienced, because I want to really, really help the women who are having issues with their body, right? I want to be able to change someone's life today. When you go into the juice bar, please stay away from all those different types of recipes for right now, okay? I want you to focus on one thing at a time. And that's what's wrong with especially people in America. We got too much going on. We got the politics. We got this over here. We got to take our child to school. We got our marriages. This is why I want to make, when it comes to living well with Belle, I want to make it as simple as possible. Start with one type of fruit at a time and focus on your mono juicing. Yes, that's going to help you. And you can always email me or DM me if you have any questions or you want to do a consultation call, and I'll actually create a customized mono juice list for you. But when you stick to that one type of juice, you're going to see a difference.
Mono juicing. Okay, y'all, we got some
Yeah,
new
mono juicing.
terminology. Let me know in the chat. Have y'all ever heard of mono juicing? If you are already a juice girl, like what types of juices do you usually get? Don't embarrass yourself because I know I can't put my recipes down here, okay?
Yes.
Because I have been doing it wrong. But again, that's what this is all about. It's like let's get access to the real information because we're defeating the purpose if we think we're doing the right thing, but we're doing the right thing in the wrong way. So juicing, yes, it's the right thing to do. But if you juicing nothing but sugary fruits, then you're kind of defeating the purpose of what you're trying to do.
Hmm.
Now people don't want to talk about this, but we got to talk about this before I let you go, Coach
It's
Bell, is the
okay.
fitness part. It's the fitness part because Black girls, we got to choose a lot of times between this hair and the gym. And
Yeah.
most people,
Oh,
most Black women, and this is a Black woman thing, but most Black women are going to choose our appearance over, our physical health. So what is like bare minimum, Coach Bell? Bare minimum. If you
bare
can
minimum,
do
right?
this, yeah, if you can do this, you're doing a good job. Give us the bare minimum fitness plan.
And so what I did was I actually created a program called Fit in 15 Minutes. It's a 4-week plan which actually requires you, allows you to work out 15 minutes a day. That's your bare minimum, sis. Try to start off with 10 to 15 minutes a day with at-home workouts. I see a lot of posts where they say, "Oh, I want to become a 5 a.m. gym girl." That's not you, sis. If you cannot work out at home for a consistency of like 3 to 6 months, I don't recommend that you actually go inside that gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. Start with the smaller things first. Start with actually working out at home for that 15 minutes, okay? And then work your way up to the 30 minutes. Then work your way up to the 1 hour. But always start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. There were so many people who would start off with that. Oh, I'm going to work out for 30 minutes. I'm going to work out for an hour. And then you won't see them anymore in the gym. Start at home. If you do want to go at the gym, find a gym bestie because accountability is one of the number one things that's so hard for my clients, and it's hard for just different women all over the world. Even when it comes to our hair, if you don't want to wear your natural hair, get your hair locked up. I'm thinking about getting my hair locked up. Just find, like, we have to try to stop finding so many excuses to stop taking care of our health. Oh, I don't want my hair to sweat out. I got my hair cut, but I feel like I can go and get my hair washed on next week. Or I can get my hair washed, I'm saying, the following day. Like, we can't keep holding ourselves back because of our physical. We have to understand as a community that our internal health outweighs the physical. We have to start pouring inside of our internal health and focus on that. And then we can get back to our physical. Because if your
So
internal is
go ahead.
jacked up and your physical looking good, baby, you empty. I don't want you guys to walk around with empty souls anymore. Because, like I said, if we're going to come together as a community, I want us to come together internally first. It's way more important than our physical.
Big facts. So I put your Instagram down here, living
Okay.
underscore well with Bell. That's how y'all can
Yes.
follow Coach Bell. Tell them a little bit more. I know you mentioned the fitness program that you have. I know you do Mommy and Me Fitness. You talked about a
Yes.
consultation. So
Yes.
tell them a little bit more. What can they look forward to when they come follow you and hopefully decide to work with you?
Yes. So that you can go ahead and follow me at living underscore well with Bell. What I like to do with my wound wellness clients, I like to actually have that consultation because everyone's dealing with different things. There's someone who's dealing with stage 4 endometriosis, stage 3 fibroids, infertile. So everyone has a different program. You actually can fill out the link that's in my bio. Also, when it comes to my mommy and me classes, I teach mommy and me classes just on like different months throughout the year for moms who just need that motivation. And I feel like when you become a mother, we just lose it all. It's not easy being a mom. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm trying to create that community where you guys can come work out with Living Well with Belle and the other moms and can also connect with the children as well. I'm also dropping a wound wellness course, self-paced, because I know everyone don't really want to work one-on-one. People don't have the time. I'm going to actually going to drop everything in my course. You can watch the modules, and you will be able to keep the course for a lifetime. And then you actually can pass it down to your little girls because, baby, the little girls are experiencing pain earlier than 16. I started at 16. Now they are experiencing pain at 13, 14. And so we as women, we have to start educating the black women. So you actually download my course, pass it to your sister, pass it to your neighbor, and let's keep this generation of wealth going.
I love that. We have to start passing down knowledge and not just illnesses,
Yes,
not just a mindset of this is what you get because you a black woman. No, let's
pass it
educate ourselves
down.
so we can educate the next generation. I've
Yeah,
enjoyed this,
me
Coach Bell. Look, I hope y'all
too.
have enjoyed it. I hope y'all are not stressed out,
Yes,
overwhelmed. Okay, you just got to start where you are. Start
start
where
where
you
you
are with
are.
what you have.
Yes, yes, yes. And I feel like I want you guys, Corey, I want to talk about this. We need some women wellness retreats. Babe. We need to go by the water. Okay.
Listen, get out,
Yes.
get out ahead, Coach Bell. I'm in prayer about that. I used to own a travel agency and do like group trips, and I have been in prayer about getting back into that. I definitely think it's much needed. This space though, wellness, the sisterhood, the accountability, the community that I think is required to truly make this a lifestyle change. For sure. I think that has to be part of it. So
Yeah.
if I decide to make that move, I will definitely be hitting up Coach Bell. So stay
Okay.
tuned, y'all. Let me know. Let
Yes.
me know in the comments. Are y'all coming to a wellness retreat? Before
Yes.
I even waste my time going to prayer with the Lord, y'all tell me, is that something that y'all would be interested in? Yeah, I feel like that's confirmation. The fact that you even just mentioned that. So stay tuned, y'all. We
Yes.
will be right back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. I'll catch y'all there. Peace out. Make sure y'all follow Coach Bell, living_well with Bell.
Yes.